Hello friends, I am Lakshmikant. Hope you all are fine, my dear. Here in this very topic, I am going to start the mind map of photosynthesis in higher plants, my dear. This one is very important chapter, my dear. So, this chapter, what here we know, my dear, this one is here that the topic is what photosynthesis in higher plants. Now, see, if anybody can ask you about the term photosynthesis first, then you know what the don't know. Let's check here. Dear, photo means what? You know, photo means what? Light. Here I'm going to write down here also. Here the term photo. What the meaning of photo, my dear? So photo here means what? Light. When I'm saying here the photo means what? Light, and synthesis means what? To manufacture. It means that what? Whenever the food is manufactured in the presence of what? Light, my dear. So that's why I'm saying what? Photosynthesis. Synthesis means what? To synthesize, you say. To synthesize. You know the meaning of synthesize, my dear? Yes, to make the food. And you all know that the green plants, you say, the what? Autotroph. So all the autotrophic plants is what? Photosynthetic. And the autotroph is also what? Not only photosynthetic, but also they have chemosynthetic also. But here only I'm saying about the photosynthesis. It means that what? It means that whenever the plants make their food in the presence of what? Sunlight, carbon dioxide, water and minerals, my dear, and there is a pigment is also required there, that is what? Chlorophyll pigment, right? Getting my point or not? So yes, if you're getting my point, then here see the reaction of photosynthesis, my dear. This one is the reaction given here. Clear? 6CO2 plus 12H2 in the presence of light and chlorophyll gives what? Glucose, water, and what? Oxygen. Let's check here in a slide, my dear. So see here, I'm going to tell you about this one topic of mind map in details, my dear, but not go in very detail because this one is only the mind map. So that's why we not go in details. Whenever you see my detailed lecture, then you know there that what the thing is to be proper they're given in NCERT. But here I also give you some basic concept of NCERT also. Whatever the NCERT, I will just take out that very NCERT and show you that the things what the written is written there also. Okay. So let me check here to be know here that to know here that what. Wait a moment, my dear. Wait for a moment. Wait for a moment so that easy to wait for a moment, my dear. Wait for a moment. Just a second, my dear. Just only I'm telling you, just a second. Okay, there is no need to be the yes. Okay, now come back. Now come back here. Yeah, the term I'm going to tell you about the term what, my dear? Photosynthesis. What I'm saying here, photosynthesis. Let's see here first. The term here I'm writing what? Photosynthesis. Getting this one point? Photosynthesis. Okay, yes. Now see what the photosynthesis mean, my dear. Here, see, let's check first here. Photo. What the meaning of photo? That is what? Light. Photo means what? Light. And whenever I'm saying about the synthesis, it means what? To synthesize. To synthesize, or you say to manufacture. It means that the organisms which can make their own food. What I'm saying, the organisms basically autotroph, you see here, the organisms basically autotroph. What I'm saying here in bracket, I'm writing here autotroph. Auto means self, troph means to synthesize again. So the organisms that is autotroph which synthesize, what I'm saying here, which synthesize, the organisms which synthesize their what? Own food, my dear. What I'm saying, own food. Let's check here. This one is the plants. This one is the what? Plants, my dear. And this one plant make their own food. But now the thing is here to be know how this green plants make their own food. Suppose this one is sun. This one is sun, and this sun radiate what? Solar energy and fall over this solar energy where? On a green plants, and water and minerals. See here what I'm writing here, water and minerals water and what I'm saying here, minerals were taken by the green plants with the green plants, and that very water and minerals conduct through a conducting tissue. That very conducting tissue is what, my dear? Xylem. Okay. So xylem is responsible to carry the water and minerals in upward direction, and then after the food will what made. But not only for the sunlight and water and minerals, they also required carbon dioxide also. So how does the carbon CO2 will taken by the stomata with the help of what? Leaves, my dear. And you also know that the leaves is the what, the kitchen of the plant. So let's see what here. Let's check here. In photosynthesis, what the requirement is here? The requirement is was 6 CO2 plus 12 H2O, 12 molecules. Yes, in the presence of what? Sunlight. What I'm writing here. Wait for a moment. I'm writing here what? In the presence of sunlight along with the word chlorophyll also. What I'm saying here? Chlorophyll. Chloro means what? Green. Fill means what? Pigment. Getting? Chloro means what? Green. Fill means what? Pigment. So when I am saying here that carbon dioxide along with the water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, then it gives the result. You know what the result here? What the product is here? Yes, definitely you know. This one is what? C6 S12 O6, again with the word product 6O2 also. Yes or no? Let's check here in mind map also. Here the glucose, water, as well as the oxygen also we get. Okay, so oxygen also we get, and also the amount of some 6 molecules of water we also get, my dear, right? So now see what I'm saying here. I am saying here that one thing is basic here, that is what in photosynthesis, that the organisms which can make their own food. But now the question is, which one organisms? The plant, yes. In plant, which one perform their own food? They make their own food, and you know that all the autotroph, my dear. And you know that the autotroph further be classified into two parts, that is photosynthetic and chemosynthetic. Am I right? So if I'm saying here the photosynthetic, it means what? Photosynthetic, it means that the plants which can make their own food in the presence of their light, my dear. Getting my point? So if I'm saying here that whenever the plants make their food in the presence of their light, not only the sunlight, they also need carbon dioxides, water and minerals, and some amount of ions also, that is transported through a conducting tissue. Let's see here in a plant's conducting tissue is here. Fine tubule is like this one there. Fine tubule like a structure which conduct water and minerals to the apical region of the plants. Apical region, it means what? Top region of the plants. And you all know that which one is the kitchen of the plant? Yes, the kitchen of the plant, it means that the area where the food made, my dear. Okay, so food is made in which area? Yes, that is what? In leaf. So leaf is called kitchen of the plant, and the leaf is what? Containing a pigment. The name of that very pigment is what? Chloroplast, and that very chloroplast containing what? Chlorophyll. Yes, definitely right. So my dear, here the term photosynthesis term is clear. Am I right? Can we move ahead? Now see, if we getting this one point after what we would have to be know here according to the mind map. Let's see. So the photosynthesis term is clear. Here the photosynthesis is photosynthesis and enzyme also, dear, regulate the anabolic process. See, whenever I'm saying the anabolic process, that is I'm saying here anabolism, my dear. Getting my point? Anabolism, that is a formation process. So whenever the photosynthesis, an enzyme regulate anabolic process of manufacture of organic compounds inside the chlorophyll. Inside what I'm saying? Inside the chlorophylls, my dear, I'm saying here. So if I'm saying here that that very enzymes which regulate the anabolic process of manufacture of organic compounds inside the chlorophyll containing cells, then what the result we get? Yes, the result we get what? Carbon dioxide, water. Yes or no? Which one help the source, my dear? That is sunlight. That is a source of energy, right? So this one is clear, my dear. Photosynthesis means autotrophic nutrition. What I'm saying here? Autotrophic nutrition. So see here, this one is the point that we should have to be clear here. Then we have to be move ahead. Yes or no? So hope so this term is clear. Hope so this term is clear. Photosynthesis term is clear, my dear, right? Very good. So if the photosynthesis term is clear, then the time to be move ahead, my dear. What, sir? What the time that we have to move ahead? That is what? Let's see. Number one, now the things that is very essential to know here, that is what site of photosynthesis, my dear. What I'm saying? The site of photosynthesis. Just wait a moment. Site of photosynthesis means what? Site of photosynthesis means that the area where the photosynthesis will take place. Getting my point? Again, I'm repeating here. Just whenever anybody can ask you where the site of photosynthesis, then what you say? Then what you say? You say here that the area, the place where the photosynthesis can take place. And you all know, my dear, the site of that very photosynthesis is what? Chloroplast in leaves. Let's see in a blank slide. I'm going to tell you about the term chloroplast. Yes, because this one is very necessary to know, my dear, about the term here. What? Chloroplast. Getting my point? Let's see. If I'm saying here, dear, chloroplast, it means what? Let's see here. Wait a moment. Here the spelling of chloroplast is wrong, so that's why again I'm writing here. Wait a moment, my dear, sorry for that. I'm saying here the chloroplast, so that's why I'm saying a chloroplast. Who is missing here, so that's why I'm writing again chloroplast. Okay, so now see, whenever I'm saying about this chloroplast, my dear, then what I say here, just see here, wait a moment. Chloro means what? Green. What I'm saying, chloro means what? Green, my dear. And plast means what the meaning of plast? This one is important thing to know here. Plast means what? Pigment. Plast means what? Pigment. So if I'm saying here that the green pigment containing in a green plants, my dear, is known as what? Chloroplast. Getting my point? No. Again, I'm repeating, my dear. Chloro means what? Green. Plast means what? Pigment. So if the green pigment contained in a green plants, then it is known as what? Chloroplast. Hope so thing is clear. Now, my dear, see what I'm writing here. It is a what? Pigment. I'm writing the definition also here. So you can also write, okay? It is a what? Pigment. It is a what? Pigment which contain what, my dear? Which contain what? Chlorophyll. And this chloro means what? Green. Fill means what? Pigment. Chlorophyll. And this very chlorophyll is responsible for making food in plants, my dear. Getting? So hope so you also know here that the plastid term, am I right? Plastid. And how many types of plastid, my dear? Three. Chloroplast, chromoplast, leucoplast. There are three types of plastid now. Yes, my dear. And you know this one thing, my dear. So here only I'm giving you the site of photosynthesis. If anybody can ask you where the site of photosynthesis, then what you say? Site of photosynthesis will occur, my dear. Where? Site of photosynthesis will occur where? Yes, site of photosynthesis will take place where, my dear? Chloroplast. Very good. This one is what? Chloroplast, my dear. And hope you keep this thing in mind, my dear. Okay, so let's see in a mind map. So chloroplast in leaves is clear. Yes, sir, definitely this term is clear. Now the point here to know, sir, chloroplast is clear, but in chloroplast, where the reaction will take place? Yes, this one is the question. My dear. That is the place where the reaction will take place in a grana. In a what? Grana. And what? Second thing is what? A stroma. So grana and a stroma? Yes. Chloroplastin leaf is right. But chloroplastin leaves which way, where, in which? Nay, getting what I'm saying? In chloroplast leaf is, yes, that is right. But in chloroplast of leaves, which one of them is there? There is grana and stroma. Grana, in grana, the reaction will take place. Yes, that is a light reaction, my dear. And in stroma, which type of reaction? Dark reaction. Yes, absolutely right. So in a grana, this one thing that you have to be keep in mind. Let's see what I'm telling you here. Let's see, my dear. Here I'm telling you the site of photosynthesis chloroplast. Yes, this one is right. But where? In the two location, my dear. One is what? One is the place where the photosynthesis will take place. Number one, that is what? Grana. And second one is what? Stroma. So what is grana and stroma? So grana and stroma are the what? Are the small organelles which is floating in a weird cytoplasm. Yes. So grana, which type of reaction occurred, my dear? Which type of reaction occurred here? Yes, in grana, here the what? Light reaction, my dear. What I'm saying, light reaction will take place, while in stroma, dark reaction. What I'm saying, dear, dark reaction will take place. Getting my point? Getting my point? So if anybody can ask you about the site of photosynthesis, then you say what? Chloroplast. Yes, this one is absolutely correct. But whenever anybody can ask you, in chloroplast where? In chloroplast where the photosynthesis takes place. So then at that time, what you say? You say there in chloroplast occurring two reason. You know the reason? That is grana and stroma. In grana, their reaction is what? Light reaction, while in stroma is dark reaction. Now the question is here, what is light reaction and what is dark reaction? Am I right now? This one is thing now. This one is the thing now that you want to know me. Yes, this one is the thing that you want to know from me, my dear. I know this one thing. Let let keep patience. Keep patience. I will just give you the answer of this one question also. Yes, I know that what's the problem you are facing. I know because dear, my teaching experience is approx more than 15 years, my dear. More than 15 years. So lots of the students being a doctor, whatever the students when go through my lectures, then he understand that the main motive and intention, that what the thing is we there for, that is what is NCERT, my dear. The main motive is my to what? To give you a something that is better, something that is better, so that you have to be keep whenever these all things in mind, go through the mind map also, then the thing is also to be clear. That's what the thing is written. Yes or no? What the thing is written in NCERT, because NCERT, dear, is very, very important for all of you, my dear. Without completing NCERT line to line, word to word, then you never qualify NEET, my dear. Okay, so hope so your dream is was to what? Complete NEET examination. So if your dream is to complete NEET examination, my dear, so you must have to be clear concept over NCERT, line to line, word to word, my dear, right? Here, I also show you the something that is in a very concise way, that what the thing is given here. Okay, so that the reaction, that is the light reaction, the dark reaction, my dear. You want to see? You want to see? Let we move NCERT. Yes, let we move where? NCERT, my dear. Wait a moment. Wait a moment. We keep this one file here, and now this one is the point. And unit 4, plant physiology, my dear. Okay, so what we study in plant physiology, my dear, this one is the important question. This one is what? Important question, my dear. Let's see in unit 4, plant physiology, my dear. This one is what Melvin Calvin, very good, I was told about in previous lecture also. Let's see, this one is the chapter 11, photosynthesis in higher plants, my dear, right? Yes. So see dear, whenever I'm saying about this photosynthesis in higher plants, it means that what the plant which has well developed root stem and leaves, my dear. Yes, that very plant is what? Angiosperm. Yes, what I'm saying? Angiosperm. So see what the thing is given here in NCERT, my dear. This one is very important to know. Let's see. Here, whenever I'm telling you about the photosynthesis in higher plants, photosynthesis in which one? Higher plants, my dear, then what we know. Here, the NCERT written what? Here, the green plants, in fact, have to make or rather synthesize their food. They need, and all other organisms depend on them, on them for their needs, because we all know that, my dear, we the people, we directly or indirectly depend on where? Definitely, absolutely right. That is what green plants, my dear. Getting my point? Yes. So this one is the green plants, which is responsible for synthesizing the food they need through photosynthesis. Yes, and therefore called autotrophs. And you know that autotrophs, I was told just a minute before. Yeah, auto means self, troph means to synthesize. It means that the plant in which the food is synthesized. Yes. So only the green plant is what autotroph, my dear, not the non-green plants here. So whenever you say about the autotroph, then you see there is what, that the green plants which can synthesize their own food, right? Okay. Now the question is here: green plants carry out photosynthesis? Yes, definitely. But this one is which one process? Physiochemical process. And this physiochemical process, they use what? Light to drive what? Synthesis of organic compounds. Ultimately, what we see here, all living organisms on the earth depend on sunlight for energy. And you know this one thing, whatever the life existing on the earth, na, due to only sunlight. When the sunlight is not, we can't imagine the life on earth, my dear. So if here I am imagine the life on earth due to only what? Sunlight. If once the sunlight is not, can you imagine the life is possible on earth? No, never. Never, my dear. So that's why energy from sunlight by plants doing what? Photosynthesis. So that very the solar radiation trapped by the green plants, and that very solar radiation is responsible for making food in a plants, my dear. And that very process is known as what? Photosynthesis. Hope so. The term photosynthesis is clear. Now the point here to move ahead. What do we know here? Let's see first. This one is the experiment which is given, which is performed by the different scientists, that how the oxygen is need for each and every life of media. Okay, clear? Now see here. According to mind map, my dear, according to mind map, what we should have to be know here: light reaction and dark reaction. When we go in details, my dear, there is the need to be know about in details about the light and dark reaction. Now, next thing that we should have to be clear here, that what? Let's see. Number four, that is pigments involved in photosynthesis. And you all know that, my dear, in pigments, that is what? Chlorophyll. And that very chlorophyll, which one pigment, my dear? Definitely xanthophyll, chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, carotenoid. These all are the pigment means color, and this one color is responsible for photosynthesis, my dear, right? So now, autotrophic, it's classified into two parts. One is the photoautotrophic, second one is what? Chemiosmotic hypothesis. So here, if I'm saying here the chemiosmotic hypothesis, it result what? Explain the mechanism of ATP, my dear. What I'm saying, explain the mechanism of ATP. Whenever I'm saying the mechanism of ATP synthesis, my dear, then where this mechanism of photosynthesis will take place, you know that the place is, that is what? Thylakoid of chloroplast. Yes, what I'm saying, thylakoid. Let's see here. So if anybody can ask you, see here, this one the what? See this one, the what? The chloroplast. See here, this one is the what? Chloroplast, right? In this way, the stalks is here. This one is here. Okay, this one is the chloroplast. Some are the grana, some are the stroma also stroma also here. Getting my point? So here, the wall of thylakoid where in a green plant, that is what? Chloroplast, my dear. Now the question is here. Wait a moment. Now the question is here, that in if I'm saying here the photosynthesis in higher plants, then here the also some biosynthetic phases also. Yes, my dear. So what the biosynthetic phases, my dear? This one is important to know here. So biosynthetic phases, it means that whenever occurs in a mesophyll cells. So whenever it occurs in mesophyll cell, it means that the carbon, that is C4 or hatch, and a sticky pathway, stack pathway, and one is C3 or Kelvin cycle, my dear. So there is something that is important to know, but whenever go in details video, na, there I will show you with the help of the NCERT also, with the help of making different diagram also, different way of things that is related to this very photosynthesis also. I will show in a detailed video, my dear. Okay, but here is not a detailed video, but here is only the what the mind map only given here. So what the thing is to be given in short way, we have to be moved from this one chapter, not in a details. Okay, let's see. If I'm saying here that suppose if the biosynthetic phases or you say the dark reaction will take place, then the pathway known as what? Stacks pathway will get. What I'm saying? Stacks pathway. In a stacks pathway, it means what? Occur in mesophyll. And you all know that mesophyll cells is the upper layer and bundle of the seed cells, my dear. Enzymes, rubisco is absent there. Yes or no? Rubisco, I'm saying. Where? From the mesophyll cells. So whenever the rubisco enzymes is be not there, then it is impossible to know that there is the what photosynthesis will take place, because the enzyme rubisco is important, so that we know about the things that what the pathway of the photosynthesis medium. Okay, so let's check with the NCERT first, then after we have to move ahead. Okay, let's check from NCERT first. Here what the thing is given here. Here the things, there are some experiment, but here the experiment need not to be know here right now. After that we should have to be share this one thing. Let's see here where does photosynthesis take place. So this one is the thing that is very important to know here. That let's see first, my dear. Let's see first here, that is the green leaf or the what in the chloroplast, based on what you read. Okay, so let's see here. You know that the large number of chloroplast is what essential for photosynthesis. Very good. Usually the chloroplasts align themselves along the wall of mesophyll cells. See here with the help of diagram also, my dear. Here chloroplast is what? Double layered membrane. Yes, keep this one in mind. Outer membrane, inner membrane. This outer and inner membrane containing what? Stromal lamella. This one is what? Stromal lamella, which connect with the one granum to another grana. This is what? Grana. Grana is what? Plural. Singular is, you say what? Granum. And this one is what? Stroma, my dear. Stroma is just a fluid. Yes or no? Yes, fluid in which the other cell orders are floating here. Okay. So now this one is the word, a small thing, that is what? Ribosomes. What I'm saying here? Ribosomes, my dear. And this one is the word starch granules. And this one is what? Lipid droplets, my dear. Getting my point? If you're getting my point, my dear, then you say here, yes, sir, I'm getting this one thing. Okay. Let's see here in a short that how the photosynthesis will take place in a chloroplast, my dear. Okay, so let's see. Within chloroplast, we all know that there is a what? Membranous system consisting of grana. You know the membranous system? Yes, that very system which contain membrane bounded organelles, my dear, just like chloroplast, mitochondria, yes or no? These all are the membrane bounded organelles. So that's why I'm saying here membranous system. And this membranous system, the stroma lamella. What I'm saying, this one, see here the diagram. Stroma lamella and the matrix of stroma. Matrix is nothing, just matrix is a what? Fluid, my dear. What I'm saying? Fluid here. So there is a clear division of labor with the chloroplast. So what the clear division of the chloroplast here? This one is the question. Let's see. And you also take out your NCERT and take out the pencil and take the pencil in your hand and just go mark all the things that whatever I'm marking here, my dear. See, this one is the diagram of the chloroplast. Put in front of you and see that the things that is written there or not, that the thing is there or not. Yes or no? So you must have to be make a hard work, my dear. Understand? Getting my point? Yes. Let's see here first. So the membrane system is responsible for trapping the light energy. So which one is responsible here? Which one is responsible? The membrane system is what responsible here. And also for the synthesis of what? ATP. So whenever I'm saying that synthesis of the ATP need light energy, my dear. and what? NADPH. Lust in stroma, enzymatic reaction synthesize what? Sugar, my dear. So if anybody say you that the what enzymatic reaction will take place in a green plants, it means that the reaction synthesis of what? Sugar, which in the form turns into a starch. And you know that plant store the food in the form of starch but transport in the form of protein. This one is interesting now. This one is interesting now. Yes, definitely interesting, my dear. What I'm saying again, you listen. I'm saying here that the enzyme during the enzymatic reaction in the stroma, the synthesis of sugar, which in the transform what? Starch, and the former set of reaction, since they are directly light driven, are called light reaction. So whenever the light directly taken by the green plants at the mesophyll cells stop that very solar radiation and make their own food, my dear. But, but, okay, this one reaction is known as what? Photochemical reaction. Definitely you are correct. Photochemical reaction. Why I'm saying a photochemical reaction? Yes, you also know that I'm saying the photochemical reaction because this reaction will take place in the presence of light, my dear. Sunlight. Yes or no? So see here, photochemical reaction. The latter, this one term is what? Photochemical reaction. Latter are not directly light driven but are dependent on the product of light. But directly the green plants is not taking that very light. They are indirectly depend on light, my dear. So whenever the photosynthesis reaction will take place, here the energy is stored in the form of the ATP and NADPH. Hence the distinguish the latter, they are called what by convention as a dark reaction. What are you saying? Dark reaction. So in a dark reaction, there must be a, you say also what? Carbon reaction. Why I'm saying carbon reaction? Because here the carbon-carbon bond need to be what? Separate, need to be the what? To change, my dear. Clear? So now see here, however, this not be constructed to mean that they occur in the darkness or they not be light dependent. They have light, my dear, but but mainly in a dark reaction, there we see carbon reaction, my dear. In the carbon reaction, what here? Here the two graph is here, my dear. That how many types of the pigments are involved in photosynthesis. This one is the very important. This one is very important point, my dear. Let's check here one by one. Okay, wait for a moment. Let's see here. Let's see here. Suppose so many shades of green in their leaves, even in the same plant, we can look for an answer of this question, trying to separate leaf pigments of any green plants through a paper chromatography. See, paper chromatography is a technique, my dear. See what I'm saying here. Paper chromatography is a technique to check whether which one the pigment is present there. Okay, so the chromatographic separation of the leaf pigments shows the color that we see in leaves. So what the color is present in the leaves is only possible from chromatographic separation, my dear. Okay, so now the thing is here to be important to know that whenever I'm saying that a chromatographic separation of the leaf pigment shows in the color that we see in where? In a leaves, not due to the single pigment but due to four pigment, my dear. So this one is very important to keep in mind that what? So what the pigment containing in a green plants, not only the chlorophyll A, but this one is also here chlorophyll A, which trap blue and green light in the chromatogram. Chlorophyll B also here, and this one yellow and green color, my dear. Xanthophyll pigment is also here. This one is responsible for yellow color, and carotenoid is also here, which is responsible for yellow to yellow orange, my dear. Getting my point? Let's see again. Let's see again. Here I'm saying that. So whenever I'm saying that how many types of the pigments is involved during photosynthesis, then you see here, sir, the pigment is what? Chlorophyll. So not only the chlorophyll itself involved here, but pigment is also responsible for making photosynthesis, my dear. And that very pigment is, that is what, chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, xanthophyll, and carotenoids. So the different of the colors is trapped by that very green plants for the what, synthesizing of their own food, my dear. Correct? Correct. Let's see here, the chlorophyll B, chlorocarotenoid, and chlorophyll A. These all are the pigment. Here what I'm saying, the what, absorbance of light energy, that is chloroplast pigment. So here there are three different pigment in a green plants. Okay. So what you see in this one graph, you see here that the pigment of the substance, the ability to absorb the sunlight. Okay, and once the sunlight absorbed by that very pigment, then after the ability of the most abundant plants pigment in the world, that to trap the radiation. Once they trap the radiation by that very pigment, that very pigment is responsible for synthesizing their food. But now the question is here, let's see, chlorophyll is the pigment, okay, to absorb light of different wavelength. Okay, so of course you are familiar with the wavelength of the visible spectrum of light, and you all know that wavelength of visible light spectrum, that is what you know, that is Vibgyor. Yes, you are right, Vibgyor, my dear. V for violet, I for indigo, B for blue, G for green, Y for yellow, O for orange, R for red. This one is the color. Now move ahead. Now here look at the figure in 13 point B. This one is 13 point B. This one is the diagram, my dear, 13 point B. Wait for a moment. Hope so. This one thing getting. So rate of photosynthesis what measured by oxygen release. That how much amount of oxygen release in atmosphere. This amount of release oxygen in atmosphere give us related to how the green plants make their own food, my dear. Okay. Now here wavelength at which maximum photosynthesis occur in a plants, my dear. So show the wavelength and which the maximum photosynthesis. Can you see that this wavelength are at the, there is what, maximum absorption of what, chlorophyll A, that is what they in the blue and the red region also show higher rate of photosynthesis, my dear. So this one is the thing that given NCERT, that sir, suppose if any plants make their food in the presence of sunlight, so sunlight wave is absorbed by the whom, that is a pigment. That very pigment is what, chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B. So if I'm saying here that the chlorophyll A, that is the blue and the what, red regions, whenever I'm saying here that the high rate of photosynthesis will take place with the help of what, absorbing the sun's radiation, my dear. And mainly here, which one the pigment is responsible for making their own food, that is what, chlorophyll A, my dear. So chlorophyll A is present in all the plants also. That is also, you know, my dear, whenever we just tell you about the kingdom, um, 5 kingdom classifications, my dear, there is also given basically the classification in plants. Yes, there's a chapter of botany. So here the chief pigment associated with photosynthesis, my dear. So this one is very important, my dear. Okay, let's see what the light reaction, what the dark reaction is here. Okay, so whenever I'm saying about the light reaction, it means that the reaction which is occurs in the presence of sunlight. Okay, wait a moment. Yes, so here I'm saying that during a light reaction, or also the photochemical phases includes light absorption, water splitting, and oxygen release. So whenever the sunlight fall over them, then the what I'm saying here, then the water split into their ions and the formation of high energy chemical intermediates. So what the energy here, ATP and NADPH, my dear. So several protein complexes are involved in this process, not only the simple method, but also here the what, protein complexes also involved here in the process, in this very process, my dear. Now the thing is to be very important to know here that what the pigments that are organized to discrete photochemical reactions. So mainly this one pigment is what, one is light harvesting complex, LHC, and second one is what, within the photosynthesis, PS, first, and photosynthesis, yes, two, my dear. So here the two photosynthesis, number one, photosynthesis first, photosynthesis second. So whenever I'm saying the pigment which are organized to discrete this photochemical reaction with the help of what, light harvesting complex, LHC. And this light harvesting complex is present where? Within the photosystem. Photosystem, it means that the system, that the path where the photosynthesis will take place. Getting my point? Getting my point? So there, these are the named in the sequence of the discovery, that what here the LHS, that is what, not left hand side. You say LHS, what you say? Light harvesting complex, my dear. So if I'm saying here the light harvesting complex made up of 100 of pigments molecules are bound to protein. 100 dear, 100 of pigments molecules that is responsible for bound that very protein. And once the protein is bound by that very plants, so photosynthesis has all pigment except one molecule of chlorophyll A, forming a light harvesting system is called what? Antennae. And this pigment help to make the photosynthesis more efficient by absorbing different wavelength. So here the wavelength is what? Not same. So different wavelength is absorbed by the green plant, and that very wavelength is responsible for manufacturing food. So the single chlorophyll includes what? Forms of reaction center. So here the reaction center, my dear. A reaction center is different in both the photosynthesis, yani photosynthesis first and photosynthesis second. In photosynthesis first, the reaction takes place in chlorophyll A, while absorption of peak 700 nanometer, hence it is what? P700. P's photosynthesis system second is also absorption by maximum at 680 nanometer. It is called P680, my dear. Okay. Okay, so this one is the thing that is given in a what? Light reaction, my dear. Hope so thing is clear. Tell me first. Yes. Now the point here to come where? Now the point here to come here in this one, photosynthesis in a higher plants. Dear, if anybody see you, not see you here, say you that that this photophosphorylation, what the photophosphorylation? Dear, if anybody can ask you about this one thing, photophosphorylation, then you say there, sir, photosynthesis where take place in a cyclic or non-cyclic manner. So photophosphorylation means that the process in which the green plants make their food in the presence of light, my dear. That is called the photosynthesis. But photo what is the photophosphorylation? Photophosphorylation means that it involves cyclic. When I am saying cyclic, I am saying cyclic here when they involve only photosystem, my dear. That is photosystem, only the light. Only ATP is formed here. Electrons move in a closed circle here. But whenever I am talking about the non-cyclic, then it involves both photosystem first and second. It involves both ATP and NADP as are produced. So electrons do not move in a closed circle, my dear. This one is the important thing, right? Hope so getting one thing. Hope so you are getting this one thing. Yes, my dear. So hope so this one is very important to know here, that what the photophosphorylation. Now the point here to know this another term, photo respiration. So see, photo means what? Light again, and respiration means what? Taking, in sense of whenever I'm saying the human taking of oxygens and giving what? Carbon dioxide, material. Okay. So but in the sense of plant, I am saying here that in the light induced respiration in green plants, my dear. So then we say here about photo respiration. So it is a process in which there is no formation of ATP or NADPH, my dear, but there is utilization of ATP, which release of what? Carbon dioxide, my dear. With the release of carbon dioxide, then it is known as what? Photophosphorylation. Getting my point? Again I am repeating here, listen carefully first, then you have to be right on your copy. You pause my video and listen first that what I'm saying, then after you write in your own words also, no problem. So see here what I'm saying, the photo respiration. Here I'm saying that the process in which there is no formation of ATP. See what I'm saying, no formation of ATP or NADPH, but there is utilization of ATP, my dear. So if If I'm saying here that not formation of ATP, if the formation of ATP will take place, then the energy will stored there, na? Yes or no? So this why I'm saying here that no formation of ATP or NADPH, but there is a what utilization of ATP with release of what carbon dioxide. So whatever the ATP utilize, that in that very cases we release what carbon dioxide, and that again this carbon dioxide is utilized by the green plants for photosynthesis. And this one is the cycle, my dear. This one goes continuously. Okay. Getting my point? Now, the very important points to note here, my dear. You know what? Here, the factors which affect photosynthesis, very important. So that's why I'm writing here. What factors affecting photosynthesis. Okay, take a slide. Take this one slide. Okay. Here I'm going to write. What factors affecting. What I'm saying? Factors affecting what? Photosynthesis. Very good. So if I'm saying here that what the factors which affect the photosynthesis, my dear, let's check here first, my dear, what the thing is here. Let's see first. This one the slide. First one is what? Light. Then after carbon dioxide, then temperature, then water. Light, temperature, water, and carbon dioxide. Light. First one is what written there? Light. Second one is what? Temperature. Wait a moment. I'm going to rub this one thing. Yes. Wait. Yes. Light. Temperature. I'm saying. What I'm saying? Temperature. So light is necessary. Yes. Temperature is necessary for the factors affecting the photosynthesis. Carbon dioxide and water also. What I'm saying? The third thing is what? That is carbon dioxide, and fourth one is what I'm saying here, dear, water. So see, these four are very important, my dear, factors which affect the rate of photosynthesis. Now the question is here, how shall the light affect the photosynthesis, how carbon dioxide affect photosynthesis, how temperature affect the photosynthesis, and how the water affect the photosynthesis, my dear. This one is the question from your side. Hope so this one is right now. You know why I'm saying this one thing? Because this one is the experience. And you know, my dear, success come from experience, and experience come from bad experiences in your life. So whatever you feel your bad experiences in your life, my dear, that very bad experiences make you a great person in your life. So whatever the experience, either it is right or good, no problem. Just uh, take this all things in a light manner, my dear. Nothing to be here, hurry up here. You just imagine that I am the greatest person. Yes or no? Let's see. This one is the motivation. So see here. So what is the factors affecting the photosynthesis, my dear? The factors that are various factors which are responsible for affecting the photosynthesis. That is number one, that is light. Suppose see, if the intensity of light is what more than at that light intensity, more light of intensity, my dear, what happens? The chlorophylls become dead. So if the chlorophyll is not be there, then how it possible to make photosynthesis, right? Am I right? This was the first thing. Now second thing, that is what carbon dioxide. Very essential for photosynthesis, my dear. You know why? Because this one, the carbon dioxide, suppose it less amount, then how the stomata, see what I'm saying, if the excessive amount of carbon dioxide is in atmosphere, then at that time also the stomata will not open. And if once the stomata is not open, how the exchange of gases will take place, my dear? You're getting my point. So if the excessive amount of carbon dioxide in atmosphere also leads to be the what affect the photosynthesis. Why I'm saying this one thing? Because whenever the increase in the rate of carbon dioxide, then the stomata will close, and once the stomata will close, then how the exchange of gases will take place, my dear? This one is the thing. Yes, hope so you are getting. And third one is what, my dear? Temperature. What I'm saying? Temperature. So see, if I'm saying here about this temperature, then what you know here? This one is the third temperature. First one is light, second one is what? Carbon dioxide, third one is temperature. So if the excessive amount of temperature, in minimum optimum temperature, that is 27 degrees Celsius is required for photosynthesis. But even when the excessive amount of temperature is given in a green plants, so that time affect the rate of photosynthesis, my dear. Okay, and then after what? Then after what? Water is also. So see, if the water logging is be there so high in a concentration, then it is possible for photosynthesis? No, my dear, because they all things we need, but in a very less amount, not in a so less amount, but they need in a sufficient amount, not more than sufficient, not less than sufficient, my dear. So the equal amount of this very nutrients is required for photosynthesis. Getting my point? No, you're not getting. I am saying here that if you suppose take one example. I need I need 4 breads at night. 4 bread. Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4 breads I need at night. But if we take 10, 20 breads, then it is good for us. Then it is good for our health. No, my dear. So excessive amount whenever we take, then we also the body not take that very nutrients. And if the body is not capable to take that very nutrients, then it gives some problems within the body. Yes, yes or no? And if we take the less amount of the nutrients also, suppose 1 bread or half bread whenever I take, then is that energy possible to be speak continuously in such a manner? No, definitely not. So that's why here I'm saying that either the mm, either in photosynthesis, I'm saying either in photosynthesis, either they take this one thing in a large amount, then that is also in case of that is not very good. When take in less amount, then also it is not so very good. So that's why I'm saying here that the factors which affect the rate of photosynthesis are, that is what, the light, carbon dioxide, temperature, and what I'm saying, water, my dear. So these all are the various factors. Now here the point to become where in NCERT. Okay, let's keep it here and now move to NCERT. Okay, let's see. Let's see, my dear, what the thing is written in NCERT. Let's see. What the fact? Electron transport system. You know that the electron transport system here that is given in photosynthesis, my dear. Say in a photosynthesis photosystem second. So in this photosystem second, the reaction center is what? Chlorophyll A. And this chlorophyll A, what I'm saying, the reaction center chlorophyll A absorb how much my dear? This is the important line, so that's why I'm underlining here. 680 nanometer of wavelength is required of red light, which causing electrons to become excited and jump into an orbit farther from the atomic nucleus, my dear. And so these electrons are packed up by an electron acceptor, which passes them an electron transport system, that is called ETS, consisting of what? Cytochrome. See this one is the diagram. Yes, light harvesting complex, LHC, that is what? Acceptor cells. Okay, and this acceptor cells occur in two pathway, that is photosystem first, photosystem second. So in photosystem first, my dear, what you see here that the one is the acceptor. So in acceptors, whenever the light harvesting complex, that is electron transport system, passes on the LHC, then it move where the acceptor cells, that is what? Photosystem. And after that, this photosystem, NADPH energy utilized by that very acceptor and gives what? NADPH. Guess what? NADPH. But here the light ones in that cases, this LHC break down the water molecules to their what? Yes, free ions, hydrogen ion, my dear. Getting my point? Getting my point? So this one is the thing. So this movement of electron is what? Downhill. So in terms of oxidation, reduction or redox potential scale, so you see here that the electrons are not used up by as the pass through the electron transport chain, but are passed on to the pigment of photosystem PS first, my dear. So in the same way, PS second, PS first, that is electron in the reaction center of PSI, are also excited when they receive light wavelength. How much wavelength is needed here? Here the 700 nanometer. and this 700 nanometer light transfer to the another acceptor molecules, and that very acceptor molecules having a great redox potential. What I'm saying redox potential here, whenever I'm saying the redox potential, it means that the oxidation as well as the reduction will also take place, my dear. Okay, so that's why I'm saying here the what redox potential. So see, the electrons, they are moved downhill again, and this time two molecules of energy reaching what NAD to NADPH, my dear. So this is the whole scheme of transfer of electron starting from pH second uphill to the acceptor, downhill the electron transport chain, my dear, to PS1. Okay, okay. So there is a what? Which one is scheme we say here? This one is called H plus, ion is called Z scheme due to the characteristic shapes, and this shape is formed when all the carriers are placed in the sequence of redox potential scale, my dear. Okay, clear. So this one is the very important point, very important things, my dear. So before in photosynthesis, during the time of photosynthesis, the splitting of water, my dear. So during this very photosynthesis, my dear, whenever go through in a detail, I will tell you about these all things how to be occurred in photosynthesis. But now this time is to be over this one mind map. So this one mind map, my dear. So just whatever the things in mind map is given here, I tell you about all the things. Nothing is to be left here. Yes. So dear, thank you for watching me. Thank you. Have a nice day. Take care. Thank you. Bye bye. See you again.